What's up, everybody? Rob here. So, I'm sure you're aware of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and I just feel compelled to speak about it. This is something that is very much out of my normal wheelhouse of things I talk about, but it's a significant and important enough event that I just need to speak about it with all of you. This is completely unscripted, stream of consciousness, so it might go rambling at times. Just please indulge me in this. And I do have some notes here about things I want to cover, but otherwise I'm just speaking. Imagine that I'm just speaking to you, person to person, and think of it that way. Again, I'm not really used to this sort of thing. I don't normally talk about current events, but this is a special circumstance. So anyway, I just want to point out also beforehand that I don't talk about politics generally on my videos, although I just want to point out that on my videos, I do not speak about politics, mostly because it's just not relevant. If I'm talking about the ancient world or the Middle Ages or the early modern era or something like that, my current take on the modern tax system is really kind of irrelevant. That said, though, I am a right-winger. I'm a right-winger. There's really not much else to say about that. So, that said, though, I just want to say that Charlie Kirk himself is somebody I never really followed, in all honesty. I never really followed him in any significant way. Not that I had anything against the guy. I would see clips of him here and there, and he seemed like a very intelligent, very well-spoken individual. I probably would agree with him on pretty much, well, on most things. But it's not that I had anything against the guy. It's just that, you can only follow so many people. There's only so much bandwidth and so much time in the day, so I can't say I was like a major follower or I was a major fan of him. That would be a lie for me to say so. However, what Charlie Kirk represents is something a bit more than right-wing values. He represents the idea of being able to speak your mind, the idea of being able to express yourself, and the ability or the importance of conversation. This is a nation here in the U.S. We have 330 million people from all walks of life, pretty much every demographic on the planet, every ethnic group, religion, or major religion, pretty much every religion, economic status, race, creed, color, like you name it, we can probably find somebody fitting that description here in the U.S. And in order for this system to work, we need to have some sort of unifying principle. And one of those unifying principles is the idea that you can make your voice heard. You can speak. Now, it doesn't mean anybody has to listen necessarily, but the idea that you can express yourself and you can give your opinion and do so without physical harm. By undermining that principle, by shooting Charlie Kirk, or by attacking someone for their beliefs or by what they say, what you're doing is undermining the very underpinnings of this nation and what this nation stands for. And I don't care if you agreed with Charlie Kirk or you disagreed with him or you thought he was a horrible person or whatever you may think about the guy or his message. The idea that he should be shot or anybody should be shot and deserves to be shot for having an opinion and expressing that opinion in a public place is disgusting. If you truly believe that harm is due to a person because of their beliefs in this manner, you are an evil person and you are disgusting. Now, not you, because if you're one of my viewers, I'm sure you're a completely sane, well-adjusted, very intelligent person. You're subscribed to me, obviously you are. But in general, though, what I'm trying to say is that the idea that you should silence that somebody deserves to be shot for their opinions is unconscionable. It's completely and totally beyond the pale of civilized behavior. And the idea, and what Charlie Kirk was doing, was having a conversation. He was shot while conversing with people who had differing opinions. That's what this country is based on. It's the idea that we can come together, we can discuss and debate our ideas, and then if you don't like what he says, okay, well then prove him wrong. And by shooting him, basically you just proved him right because you couldn't come up with a coherent argument other than because he's a fascist. Which brings me to another point of everybody on the right wing is apparently a fascist. And that's, of course, not true, but you get what I'm saying. Like a lot of people, and this has been going on for about the past 10 years or so, if not even longer, maybe 15 plus years, where anybody on the right wing is automatically a fascist. which, first off, nobody knows what a fascist is. That's not what, like, if you look up what actually, what fascists actually believe, and then what Charlie Kirk believes, or what the mainstream Republican believes, or a right-winger in the U.S. believes, there's like very little in common. There's like, in any, whatever they do have in common is like so superficial, it's not even worth mentioning. So, but a lot of people on the left, and not everybody on the left, probably not even a majority, but a distressingly large number of people on the left just equate anybody on the right automatically as a Nazi, as literal Hitler, as a fascist. The thing is, though, within the right is not a unified group. For those who are unaware, if you're, say, on the left and you're listening to this, or you want to learn more about what's going on here, if you're not sure about what's going on here, on the right wing in America, there are so many different factions that it's really more of a coalition than a coherent ideology. I mean, you have neocons, paleocons, Christian nationalists, Christian conservatives, which are vaguely similar, but slight differences there. There's the Make America Great Again, the MAGA movement that Trump started. There's small government monarchists. There's libertarians. Libertarians are kind of their own thing, but there's some overlap between libertarians and people on the right wing. There's overlap there. You have America First people. You have just any number of other, and you have people who are single issue voters or single issue, politically involved. Like some people are just, all they care about is the Second Amendment and preserving the Second Amendment. Don't really care about anything else. People who are pro-life and don't care about anything else. People who just want fiscal responsibility and low taxes or whatever economic policy, and don't really care anything else beyond that. And of course, these are not hard and fast rules, and there's so much overlap in gray areas between all this that it's just such a confusing mess. To say that we're all we're all fascists is just, not only is it not true, it doesn't even make sense. It's nonsensical. I mean, there's really nothing else I can really say there. And it's used just as a cudgel. It's just used as a way to label everybody that they don't agree with, this group of leftists. Again, not all, probably not even a majority, but it's just a way for them to say, oh, those people deserve to be shot. Anybody who I disagree with, I'm going to label you with this ideology, which you have actually nothing to do with, and I'm going to shoot you for it. I'm going to justify shooting you for it. And that is just downright evil. Evil is among us. It's not even, the shooting of Charlie Kirk is evil in and of itself. Again, shooting a guy for having a conversation with people. But the reaction to it is, I should be shocked, but somehow I'm not. I should be shocked, but I'm not. The number of people who celebrate the death of somebody for having pretty much mainstream opinions, like really, if you think about Charlie Kirk, his opinions were not that extreme. They're really not. They're actually, he would be a pretty average person like 15 years ago. That's how off the rails things are now. But the idea that he deserves to be shot over this, and he deserved to die, and his wife deserves to be a widow, and his children deserve to be orphans, is evil. There's no other word to describe it. Anybody who truly believes that, and then I've seen people saying that we need to finish off and kill his wife off and kill his children too. It's like, that is just, look, I don't care what you say about religion. I am religious. I am. But you don't have to be religious to know that demons walk among us. Okay? That is demonic. There's just no excuse for that type of behavior. And then laughing on the grave of somebody who, again, he just wanted to have a conversation. He just wanted to speak to people. He wanted to express himself and give his opinion. And even if he was a fascist, even if he was literally saying, hail to the Austrian painter and all that, he still wouldn't deserve to die. He never called for violence against anybody. He never called for anything that would harm somebody outside of very vague definitions of it's come to the point where simply disagreeing with someone is a form of violence. Like, this is violence against this protected group. It's like, no, I'm merely disagreeing with your opinion on things. I'm saying that this is, I don't agree with you on. I personally, Rob from Jersey, I've been called a Nazi because I was in favor of low taxes. Literally, I've been called a Nazi because I was in favor of low taxes. So, and the point is, somebody brought this up. It's going around on Twitter. I refuse to call it X because that's just a stupid name. But the idea is like, they don't call you a fascist because they're a fascist. They don't want, these extreme leftists, they don't want to kill you because you're a fascist. All right? They call you a fascist because they want to kill you. That's what it is. The evil is walking among us. Demons walk among us. There's no other way to say it. I can't say it any more clearly. And it's just sickening that we have reached this point. We've reached this point as a country. And it really started going downhill, like in this way. Actually, it started, today is the anniversary. In 2011 was the beginning of the Occupy Wall Street protests, which was very mild in comparison, but that's what got the ball rolling. It's just been, going downhill since then. If people had stood up about, in 2011, 2012, when this was just getting started and this madness of calling literally anything you disagree with a Nazi. And by the way, we need to kill Nazis, and you put 2 and 2 together, and there you go. We get stuff like this. If people, like on both sides of the aisle, like everybody had said, the same people had stood up and said, no, we're not doing this. We're not going this extreme, and stamped it down, we would not be in the position we're in now. That's just my opinion on this, but that's another point. And the one thing I want to say is that one of the issues that I have now, of course, is the inability of anybody to hold the left to the same standards the right wing is held to. The right wing has been demonized and pretty much wedged out of things like social media, corporate America, entertainment, everything else. Like any kind of conservative voice is immediately silenced. Just to give you an idea, on Twitter, people openly call, like leftists, openly call for death threats. And have for the past, 10 years, 10, 15 years or so, 10, 12 years, openly called for the death of conservatives with no punishment. None whatsoever. I was banned on X, or this was Twitter, this was how many years ago? Like 6, 7 years ago? Because I told the Associated Press they need to learn to code. I told the Associated Press they need to learn to code, and I was banned. It was a temporary ban. It was like a 24-hour suspension, but I was punished for that. Then you have other people giving actual, for real, honest death threats. And nothing. So I'm just asking, I'm not asking for special treatment. I want equal treatment. I want the left to be held to the exact same standards the right is held. I want them to be treated the same way the right is being treated right now. And for some reason, the Trump administration is dropping the ball on this one. I mean, you have with the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, whatever her name is, she's saying, we're going to go after hate speech. No, I don't want you to go after hate speech. First off, I'm a free speech advocate. If we get rid of free speech and go after hate speech, which, by the way, hate speech doesn't exist. But the point is that if we ban speech, then we're not going to know where the assholes are. So I want to know where the assholes are so we can keep an eye on these people. I'm talking about direct, deliberate threats. And also, it's like you can go after Antifa. Antifa is a real organization. Don't tell me, it's just an idea. No, it's an actual real organization. And you can hit him with RICO. Hit him with the RICO Act. Everybody on, the shooter. I'm not going to talk about that POS. And yeah, he was a leftist. Don't tell me he was a MAGA. He was a MAGA extremist, and he shot Charlie Kirk because he was a leftist. Just admit it. He's on the left. Everybody on his Discord server that knew about it, and that he talked to, subpoena them. Hit him with the RICO Act. They can dismantle Antifa right now, piece by piece, board by board. Okay, one of the Proud Boys, during the January 6th insurrection, riot, storming of the Capitol, whatever you want to call it, one guy was sent to jail through the RICO Act because he was part of the Proud Boys. He wasn't even in Washington, D.C. If you can throw somebody in prison who wasn't even in Washington, D.C. when the storming of the Capitol happened, you can definitely go after some idiots on Reddit threads and Discord servers and tear apart Antifa brick by brick, board by board. Don't waste your time going after stupid hate speech online. Like, seriously, are you stupid? Like, she dropped the ball with the Epstein thing too. Like, just as an attorney general, she is so freaking useless. Oh, that's just a complete aside here. But anyway, Just to wrap things up here, I just want to, again, I'm just venting here because, again, I feel compelled by conscience to do so. People on the right need to unify. Like I said, we have this mass coalition on the right. Now is not the time to fight amongst ourselves, okay? We are literally being hunted, and a distressingly large number of people in society want to kill us over our beliefs. Now is not the time for infighting. Okay, so please, if you're on the right, if you're on the right wing, now's not the time to fight amongst each other. And if you're on the left wing and you're sane, you are welcome to join us in our sanity. So, I'm extending the hand here. I'm not going to make a blanket like all leftists need to be, eliminated or anything like that. It's just the crazies that I got a problem with, and they need to face the full force of law again, legally through precedent and legal. Statutes and laws that already exist. And what else can you do in your life? Well, what else can we do here? Well, the best way to do it to honor the legacy of Charlie Kirk and the life he led is to live boldly, live bravely, speak our minds, regardless of what it is, whether you're on the left or the right, to speak bravely and express yourself, use the First Amendment, not suppress the speech of others, and honestly, in the words of another great American that we lost earlier this year, say your prayers, take your vitamins, and make America great again. So that's about it for this video. I just had to talk about I have other thoughts on this, but I just want to let it go at that. Again, this is Stream of Consciousness, completely unscripted, and just wanted to get some points across about my frustrations and feelings that I felt over the past week. I might be doing more current events in the future, and I am going to be labeling it with this title that I have here, the Rob's Rants, just so you know that it is going to be political in nature, and you can avoid those or watch those as you see fit. I like the alliteration of it. I'm not really going to be ranting. Maybe I will be ranting. I don't know. I just like alliteration. So anyway, I'm just felt it necessary to talk to you about all this, and yeah, that's all I've got to say. So that's it for this video. If you are, one other thing too, if you are a leftist, and if you're one of the same ones, again, welcome here. But if you're one of those extreme leftists who think people should be shot for having an opinion and are dancing on the grave of Charlie Kirk or insulting his widow or children or any of those degenerate activities, please unsubscribe from my channel. If you are a subscriber of mine, unsubscribe. I don't want you here. Also, don't leave a comment about it. This is not an airport. You do not need to announce departures. Just leave. I don't want your kind around me. You want to disagree with what I have to say in a civilized manner in the comments? Feel free to do so. You are welcome to do so. You're going to start screaming fascist and you're a Nazi and next bullet's for you, which we've been down that road before. I've been down that road before. If you're going to be doing that, be gone. Don't waste my time. That being said, please hit the like and subscribe button. More videos will be coming out whenever I get around to it. And have a good day, or don't have a good day. This is America, and we can do whatever we want because we're free. See you all later.